Welcome back to another edition of Center Court. I'm your host, Alex Meacham. Now, one of the new things that we've added to this show is my opening monologue. And as much as I love this t-shirt here, this Center Court t-shirt, I think I need to spice it up a little bit, and I need to get a little bit dressier for the show. So let me see what I can do about this. There we go. How's that look? Look like I should be on the Oscar red carpet there, walking through. So now I feel official. So with this opening monologue, I want to talk to you about two trips I've taken here recently. I had an opportunity to fly out to Tucson, Arizona, and spend some time with the Arizona basketball team. Now, recently, they were ranked number 1 in the country. I think they had the number 1 ranking the longest this year. Well, they lost to Cal, at Cal. Well, I flew out to Arizona to Tucson to watch the revenge game at home versus Cal. Got an opportunity to spend some time with the coaching staff and also some of the players. Now, there's an assistant coach named Danny Peters. Danny Peters and I go back. Danny's father, Dan Peters, was an assistant coach at the University of Cincinnati, then went on to Ohio State, and is now a current assistant at Akron. And so we want to send a big shout out to Coach Dan Peters, who currently right now is battling cancer. And he's had to step down right now from the University of Akron with his assistant coaching job and really fight this battle with cancer. And if anybody knows Coach Pete, he will win this fight with cancer. And we're sending Dan and the whole family the best. So his son, Danny Peters, is an assistant coach, like I said, at Arizona. And I also know Sean Miller, who's the head coach of Arizona. Sean Miller spent some time at Xavier as the Xavier head coach. And I got to know Sean when he was at Xavier, and his son, Austin Miller, who is now 18 years old and a senior in high school out in Arizona, spent some time training him one-on-one, teaching him the game of basketball, which a lot of people are like, how do you know Coach Miller? He's a Xavier guy, you're a UC guy, you guys shouldn't get along. But the thing is, with the game of basketball, you can meet so many people, and after a while, rivalries just kind of go out the window and you build good relationships. And Coach Miller's a great guy. And he gave me an opportunity to come out there, spend some time and talk with him, spend some time and talk with Coach Danny Peters, and also got to know some of the players. Nick Johnson and TJ McConnell, 2 guards. I've gotten to know those guys pretty well. Watched their game, watched them work individually on their game before practice. Got to watch walkthrough, had an opportunity to sit and watch the game with very, very good seats, and then go listen to the post-game speech that Coach Miller gave to his team, which was very, very cool. So after I left Arizona, I had an opportunity to go to West Virginia and see Coach Hawkins, my former coach, and spend some time with him. I got to sit down and watch all of practice, which was really cool because I haven't seen Coach Hawkins run a practice in a long time. And it brought back a lot of old memories when he used to yell at me and Kenyon Martin and Ruben Patterson and tell them to get us on the line and run, and we weren't any good. And it was good to hear him tell those guys that as well. So I got a behind-the-scenes tour of West Virginia, spent some time with some of those coaches there, Coach Larry Harrison, and also Eric Martin, who's a former Bearcat great. He's now on the staff at West Virginia. So one of the cool things I did at West Virginia was I had a chance to go and walk through their new $25 million practice facility, which is really cool because Coach Hawkins raised $25 million on his own. Private money that he raised to help build that facility. And when you walk in this facility, you can see conference rooms. They have a theater for the players. They can sit down and go through films, a place where they can do their homework. There's a place to eat. There's a practice facility, treadmills. There's a really cool weight room that sits back, and it sits in the woods, and it's all glass. So you have trees coming and the lights coming through, all while you're lifting. The music's blasting. So that was really, really cool. And for a lot of the high school players out there, I know you guys all think you can play D1, and some of you can play D1. But here's the thing. When you get to Division I, even Division II, and even Division III, it becomes a job. And what I mean by that is you just don't walk in the gym and shoot. You don't walk in the gym and practice and then leave. You have to study. You have to go through film sessions. You have to study the opponents. You have to go to the weight room. You spend a lot of time in that facility, and it becomes a job. And that's one thing that reinforced in my mind while I was at the University of West Virginia was to sit down and really see what all goes into the preparation for a game. and what goes into preparation leading up to a game. And so while I'm speaking about high school players, I want to talk a little bit about the show today. So the show today had a great opportunity to go sit down with the seniors at Moeller High School and also the head coach, Kremer. Now this was really cool because in a couple shows ago, I talked a little bit about the Ohio High School bracket breakdown of the tournament, and I picked Moeller High School to win the state championship this year. So it was really cool to sit down with these guys and talk to them about their season and also the opportunity to win a state championship and what it takes. And Coach Kremer really broke down what he talks about to make a program that's successful and to have a great season and put the players in the program in position to win a state tournament. So I think this is a really good show for high school kids to watch and learn from. So enjoy the show. And my new jacket too. Welcome back to Center Court. I'm your host, Alex Meacham, and I'm here with the head varsity basketball coach of Moeller High School. Here with Kremer. Coach, how you doing?
Doing fine, Alex.
Good. Now, you've been the head coach here for 23 years?
I actually think it's my 24th year.
It's your 24th season?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, obviously, you've done a lot here. You've built a fine program. You have a lot of accomplishments coaching-wise, a number of Coaches of the Year in the GCL, City of Cincinnati, and the Cincinnati Basketball Hall of Fame, I believe 2013. I think it was. What are you most proud of so far?
Okay. I just feel lucky. It's not really even proud. It's a great school. An all-boy Catholic school is a great coaching environment. And I fell into it, never had a grand plan. And unbelievable, as you know, because a lot of my kids have been in your program.
Sure.
We have just had great kids and great parents. And if you're going to be successful, you've got to have talented players. We've had that, but we've had high character guys too, and high character parents that have continually taken our program up, and we've found ways to be better and better. So just the growth. I think we continue to get better every year, and that's, I'm proud of that.
Now, so one thing that you've done that I've been a fan of and I've observed from a distance is you've built a program. And I think if you look at your freshman, JV, and varsity, it's like you have a plan. And what can you share with us a little bit of what your vision is for your program and the plan that you have?
You know, they're really in the specific plan. You know, we really were kind of guided by 4 things we decided 24 years ago were going to be our guiding principles. And it's in our locker room. Every one of our kids can tell you about those principles, and we try to find people, find coaches, and build the program around those 4 key things. And you know, every group's different. We've played styles different. You know, we played every style of basketball based on the kind of kids we have, because that's not our principle. But how we conduct ourselves is very, very important, and that's what we've tried to build around.
I'm Logan Malone, 6'4" forward, and I am undecided on college. That's it.
Brody Barlow, senior, student coach, Twitter handle, @B__03, hit me with a follow. I get the water for the squad during the games. That's all I got.
I'm Austin Morrow, 6-foot guard. Shout out to my brother, state champ. I'm out.
I'm Trey, Hawkins, senior, 5'10", guard. I lead the squad.
I'm Jack Anton, 6'8", power forward. That's it.
I'm Gus Ragland. I'm a senior guard. I'm committed to play football, quarterback at Miami University, and I'm a 3-time state champion, trying to make it 4.
I'm Grant Benzinger, 6'3" guard, committed to play basketball at Wright State.
I'm Adam Gigax. I'm a 6'6" senior, going to Emory University next year. And, yeah.
Trey Stacy, 6'3" guard. Follow me on the IG, Trouble Stace.
Alex Kuhn, senior, student coach, going to University of Cincinnati, and I did the statistics for the year, so if you ever want to see the box scores, hit me up.
How do they hit you up?
@CoonDog15 on Twitter.
Coondog.
And the pants, corduroys.
Welcome back to Center Court. I'm your host, Alex Meacham, and we are here with the Moeller High School boys basketball team. So we're going to interview them, talk to the seniors, and also the student coaches. So first, guys, congratulations on a great season. And I'm going to talk to each one of you guys a little bit. I want you guys to make sure you have fun, stay loose. And I want to start with you, Austin. All right? So you look real serious, man. So let me ask you a couple things. First of all, you have a twin brother. You gave him a shout out.
That's right.
Earlier. Now he has 2 state championship rings.
That's right. I get crap at home for it all the time, so yeah.
Yeah. Now you could change that possibly with
That's
this
right.
basketball season, but he's still going to have one up on you. Now, did you ever play football?
I played football until 8th grade, and then I quit my freshman year.
Now, did he ever play basketball?
Yeah, he played until freshman year.
Okay, cool. Now, and when I ask you this question, you've been a part of the program, and you don't play as much as some of the other guys. Does that wear on you at any point? Have you ever thought at any time, man, this isn't worth it, you know, I want to quit? Has any of that stuff gone through your mind, and how do you deal with that?
You know, at times I'll think about, like, what would happen if I went to Sycamore. You know, I'll probably have a bigger role there, and then I think that, you know, I wouldn't be half the basketball player I am right now if I had gone to Sycamore. So, just I've gotten better through the years with this program, and that's all I can really ask for.
That's cool. Good stuff. So, Trey, I want to jump to you a little bit.
All right.
Now, we have a little bit of a connection.
Yep.
Your cousin, can you tell him who your cousin is?
Yeah, my cousin's Beckham Myrick. He played at Bacon and is a pro basketball player over in Germany right now. He played for the Shining Stars, I think, throughout high school.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, I went to Roger Bacon. So the thing with that is he has a ring.
Yes.
So you have an opportunity maybe this year to bring a ring there. And so, you know, like Austin said, you could go somewhere else and play and probably play a whole lot, but you decided to stay with Moeller, stick it out with Moeller, and from what I hear, you potentially might want to play at the next level with college. Is that correct?
Yeah, I committed to be a preferred walk-on at Wright State. So, and like coming to Moeller, like my biggest decision was winning. I wanted to win. I get a ring like my cousin. So if I wanted to go to like another school, I wouldn't win. So winning is like a big deal to me.
So you don't regret any decision to come to Moeller here?
Not at all.
Okay, that's cool. So you're going to be joining
Grant.
Grant. How you feel about that?
It should be fun.
You guys cool?
Good.
Okay. All right. Good. Are you guys going to room together?
Yeah, probably.
Oh boy. All right. So Brody, I want to talk to you a little bit, and one thing that's kind of unique about you is now you originally were on the freshman team?
Yes.
And then you went to the student, they call them student coaches,
Yeah.
correct role?
Yeah.
Your brother obviously was a very good player here, and then he's playing college basketball right now. And how much has an influence has he been on you? And do you have any sort of feeling, you know, like he's playing college basketball, you should be like a star at Moeller, any of that stuff? Or
I mean, yeah, you get that a lot because of course, of who he is, and but he's been there for me, you know, the whole way through. He's, you know, helped me stay tough through, like, I got cut sophomore year. That's why I've been a student coach ever since, and he's just been helping me through, talking me up, and telling me never to give up. And I mean, you get expected to, you know, live up to those expectations, but I've gotten used to it over the years, so it's not as much of a big deal to me anymore.
so when you got cut, how come you just didn't say, you know what, I'm done with I don't want to have anything to do with the program?
Because I like basketball a lot, and I wanted to still be involved in the program because I like these guys. They're fun to hang around. And so I went to coach and asked if I could do that, and he said that'd be a great idea. So I've been just doing that ever since.
Understandable. So, Jack, you all right?
It's fine.
Okay. I wanted to talk to you a little bit now. You're a guy that plays, obviously, a lot of minutes. You've been a part of the program for a while. This is, I believe, your second year of varsity. And you're going to play next year at, tell them again.
I'm going to play at Elon University.
And why'd you pick Elon?
It was just my favorite school out of all the schools I visited, and I like the coaching staff a lot, so I decided we're going to play basketball next year.
Now, at any point, you know, obviously you're a big guy in the city and one of the big men here at Moeller. There are not a lot of big players, a lot of post players in the city. So as they say in the college coaching world, big men are at a premium. So a lot of college coaches, if they're looking for a big man, it's a little bit easier than guards because, you know, for somebody that's 5'9", There's a lot of guys that are 5'9". And at any point, during the summer, were you really concerned about playing at the next level with college? Were you nervous and just not sure what was going to be your future?
Oh yeah, definitely. I was nervous during the summer because I ended up getting hurt after summer ball with Moeller. So I was out for the first live period in AAU. That kind of set me back. And when I came back, I was out of shape. My leg was still hurting, and it was actually pretty tough for me. I didn't know if I was going to be able to play or at the next level until, I guess, the beginning of August, and that's kind of when everything kind of fell in place.
And you feel more relaxed, and you were able to get the season going. And do you feel like if you didn't have that and you were playing the season that you might not play as well? That'd be in the back of your mind, or?
I don't know. I mean, I probably had to play with the chip on my shoulder, but I can't really say how I would play if that hadn't happened. But it's definitely I could exhale and just kind of relax and just kind of focus on my game and not have to worry about calling coaches or doing any of that. So.
Okay. Now, Alex, let me ask you a couple questions. What's your biggest role with the team?
Kind of like Brody, I'm a student coach, and for the most part, I've just done the statistics for each game. Now that we've gotten into tournament time, I'm kind of just helping out, getting water for the players during the games, and doing whatever the coaches need me to do.
Now, did you try out for the team at any point or play?
I had tried out freshman year and didn't make the team. And so I thought about coming back out sophomore year, but I talked with the coach, and he thought that the student coach would be a better role. So I just went with that, and I've enjoyed it ever since.
Now, I don't know if this is true, but is it true that you'd like to be a manager at UC with the basketball team? That is true?
Yeah, something I could love to consider doing.
UC's a good school?
Yeah. Big time fan.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah.
They're ranked pretty high this year.
Yeah. Got all the way up to 7.
Yep.
Love it.
Good stuff, man. I enjoyed it. Trey, talk to you a little bit. Interesting thing with you, Trey, I've watched you play for a long time, and I think one of the interesting things with you is your leadership. I think your leadership's different than, sometimes people look at leadership as somebody that's, rah-rah, grabbing, talking a lot, and that's not necessarily your style. You've always been a player that I've watched that's been even keel. You've always been poised. Is that something, what I'm saying, do you think that that's true and that's your leadership style?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think I just make sure everybody's in the right spot, make sure everybody's doing what they need to do to make us successful.
When you do, and sometimes when you have leaders like that, when they do speak up and say things, it's more powerful. Sean Kilpatrick, at UC, he leads in an interesting way. There's nothing flashy about, Sean. He just gets it done. But when he talks, when I go to practices and Sean says something to the players, they hear it. Is that true for you? Do you speak up and tell Grant, you need to get over here, or tell, do you do that?
If it's needed, but most of the time, everybody does what they need to do. We all know what we need to accomplish and the goals, so I do it if it's needed, but most of the time it's not needed.
Okay. Now, Logan, what you were, correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't make the team last year.
Correct.
And you made the team this year. What's the difference between last year and this year?
I'm more tired this year.
Great answer. What's been the difference as far as, why didn't you make it last year?
We were heavily stacked with, in the big position. That's mainly what I am, like a forward / center. So we had a bunch of bigs last year, so they just decided not to keep me on the team, so I decided to student coach last year.
Okay, and was there any thought that I don't want to try out this year, I could get cut again, I don't want to go through that mentally again, or did you say, you know what, I'm going to work at my game, play, summer basketball, and I could make the team?
There was definitely thought the first week, after I was told I didn't make it, but then after that, I decided to play AAU in the summer with Trey Stacy, and after that, it's been going well ever since.
Okay. What do you want to do when you grow up?
I'm not really for sure. Coaching would be definitely up, high on my list, but I don't think I'm going to major in marketing.
What school do you want to go to?
I'm between Wright State, Dayton, and Miami.
Okay, though. Wright State, deal there. Adam, Gig X. Let's talk a little bit with you.
Yeah.
So, like some of the guys are committed to go to school, you've committed to go play at Emory, which is a very good Division III school. Coach Zimmerman is a good friend of mine, great coach. How did you decide on that? Because sometimes, and obviously you're a good player, you're well known in the city. Sometimes there's expectation that good players have to go D1, they have to go D2. And sometimes people frown upon D3 and say, I'm too good for D3. But there's some really good D3 basketball. What went through your mind in the process of deciding schools and deciding on a D3 like Emory?
Well, a school like Emory is, really well known for their academics, and that's kind of what I was looking for in a school, putting that before basketball. And after going and visiting, I, really liked the school, Coach Zimmerman, all the guys on the team, and after watching, any D3 team play a game or practice, you really understand that they're, pretty good. When I visited, I just felt real comfortable with everything. Loved it.
Yeah, and you've got there's 2 Cincinnati connections down there, Jake and Max Davis. Jake's a senior, had his senior night last night. What are some of your goals when you go down there and play in college, athletically, even beyond, with life, but just basketball-wise? Like when you say, okay, I'm going to go Emory and play basketball, have you set any goals yet, or are you just still trying to get through this season?
I'm still really trying to get through this season, but we'll see wherever it takes me. I'm going to work hard this offseason, hopefully go down there, earn some minutes as a freshman, but we'll see where it takes me.
Okay. Gus, let me talk to you a little bit. So you let us know you've got 3 rings. Baseball, 2 football, and potentially 4th one here in basketball. I don't know anybody that's done that before. I don't know anybody that has 3, let alone 4. Do you?
I don't. A couple student managers have like 3, but other than that, I really don't know anyone who's been in just like a successful program like Moeller who has opportunity to really win that much.
And you probably, just looking at the history of Moeller High School sports, I don't know that there's been too many guys that have come through Moeller that have been able to be successful in all 3 sports. So I think that's a credit to you, and it's probably, mentally, that's got to be tough to make transitions from the different sports. True?
Yeah, it is. But I really been surrounded by like a lot of talent and people who like want to work hard and like work for something greater than themselves, and that's kind of where all like the state championships come in. Just like a lot of really talented guys who like want to work at it and put effort into it.
What's your nickname with the team?
Bones.
Bones.
My dad calls me that. So.
Speaking of your dad, I have a quote. This is a quote from Gus that's in the program for Moeller High School basketball. When they said, Gus, describe yourself, you said, you're handsome, you play 3 sports, and I'm all around better than my father.
That is correct.
That's correct?
That is correct.
I thought that was, how do you feel about that?
I mean, he still thinks he can whip me, but he's getting pretty old, and
whip you
the
in,
tables are turning a little bit.
Whip you in what? Everything, just life?
Yeah, just horse, everything. Whatever we're doing, whatever we're competing in.
Beat you in jump rope.
Yeah, jump roping, running. He runs a little bit, so.
Good. Good for him. Good for him. So Grant, talk to you a little bit about. Let's talk about Wright State, and like I asked with Jack and even with Giggs about making a decision. Obviously, in the summer, you have to evaluate a lot of schools and see what schools you're interested in, what schools are interested in you. Wright State was after you, and at the end of the day, how did you finally make that decision?
Well, I visited Elon, Wofford, and Wright State. And Wright State, I just felt like the culture there was more basketball-oriented more than anything. And the relationship with the coaches I had was, I felt like it could be something special, so I just kind of went with that and ran with it.
Now, when you recruited, did the assistant coach or the head coach have more contact with you?
Usually it's the assistant coach, just because like that's kind of what their job is, and the head coach oversees it all. And then the head coach, he'll call you periodically, and so it is what it is.
Now, so you've one thing about you, Grant, is that you're a guy that I looked at as you're really self-made. You really worked hard at your craft. It's not like you're 6'7" and are blessed with a lot of just crazy skills. I mean, you've grinded and you've worked on your ability. Where do you get that mentality from?
It's kind of internal motivation. I mean, you can have this external motivation to all this pressure on you and have peers tell you how great you are and make you want to work hard. But at the end of the day, that only lasts so long. It all comes from within yourself and your mind. And like you kind of have to brainwash yourself to do things you don't want to do.
Now you're at the away games. You're often picked on by the student section. Is that fair to say? He's picked on a lot.
Yeah.
What do you say? And you picked on Twitter, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep. So how do you deal with that? How do you feel about that in the game?
You gotta.
You hear it, right?
You break their spirit. That's what you gotta do. I mean, they can say whatever you want, but if your team's winning by 30 at St. X, I mean, what else can they say?
All right. So also on your father, do you? I'm sure with you guys having a great season and making a great run, you've been interviewed, and I've seen a couple of them, and even when people talk about you, they bring up your dad a lot. Do you get tired of getting asked about your father?
Yeah, I do. Not because I'm like living in a shadow or whatever, but because my mom doesn't get enough credit for what she does and everything she has done for me. I mean, I think people overlook that and just think of my dad as this big pro ball player and taught me everything, but she's taught me a lot about what else I need to do in life.
That's good. So let me ask you, anybody, I'll open this up to anybody, you can jump in. The beginning of the season, I think roster-wise, you guys have a very, very complete roster, and a lot of people in the city picked you guys to not only, I think, win a GCL, but potentially win a state championship. And on one of our shows, I predicted you guys to come out of our area and win the state championship, along with Roger Bacon. I think they can win a championship too. At the beginning of the year, how do you guys deal with that? Do you set the goal and say we're going to win a state championship, or do you focus in on individual, like we're going to win this many games at first, then this many games? And what I mean by that is when I played at the University of Cincinnati, Hugs didn't necessarily say we're going to win a national championship. He broke the season down into 3 different pieces and then said, then we're going to get to the playoffs and go from there. How did you guys approach it this year?
After last season, when we lost to Springboro, I mean, all us seniors, we kind of started this like group text, I guess, and like we said it then in May last year, and we never really talk about it now, and it's more just blocking everything out that everyone says and doing everything we need to do today to get better. Just take it day by day.
The only championship we're focused on right now really is just sectionals. That's kind of how we're breaking up right now, just each stage of the tournament and focus on just getting to the next game. So.
And do you have dreams of, like, do you dream of saying, I'm at 4 rings?
I mean, I really just want to win a basketball state championship. This team means a lot to me, and I know how much work we put in the off season and everything. So right now, like everyone said, we're just kind of taking it day by day. But I want to enjoy this last month together with everyone, and I'm sure everyone has the same goals. And yeah, winning a state championship in basketball would be special.
And when I read through the basketball program, a lot of you guys mentioned that one of the most special moments here at Moeller was when Josh Davenport hit that shot to beat St. X, and I was at that game, and that was obviously it was a great game, an impressive shot. And, a lot of you guys said that was your most memorable experience. However, that all could change, and there could be a different most memorable experience. And I wish all you guys the best of luck. I have you guys picked to come out of here and win it all. No pressure, but I wish you guys luck. And so what I want to do is we're going to go out and watch you guys shoot around. And you guys want to challenge me one-on-one in shooting? You can. I won't. Why are you laughing? You're not going. You want to shoot against me, Jack?
I don't think you want to shoot
I'll
against
dunk
me.
on you.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. So I want to thank the Moeller basketball team and all these guys here. Wish them well on their run for the state. And so stay tuned for the rest of the show.